Born in London, England in 1757, William Blake was a poet, artist and spiritual visionary. He began drawing and writing at an early age, depicting a vision of angels at age 10. Blake trained as a copy engraver when he turned 14. While continuing his writing and artwork, during the course of his life, he created hundreds of artistic engravings, many of which were combined with poems. Although his works were not widely popular while he was still alive, he is now considered a leading artist and poet of the Romantic Age. William Blake was also an inventor. He created an engraving technique known as relief etching. This approach gave rise to what he referred to as illuminated printing, which combines art and print to create beautifully hand-etched manuscripts. English author Alexander Gilchrist stated in his book Life of William Blake, 1863, that Blake neither wrote nor drew for the many, rather for the children and angels, himself a divine child, whose playthings were sun, moon and stars, the heavens and the earth. We now present to you excerpts from the book The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. In this book, William Blake explores the extremes of opposing forces, also known as spiritual duality. He describes good and bad as simply being different types of energies. Blake also maintains that both are necessary for human existence. As he says, without countries is no progression. The reader is thus invited to reflect upon the true nature of these opposites and to even transcend their apparent duality. A memorable fancy. An angel came to me and said, "O pitiable, foolish young man, O horrible, O dreadful state, consider the hot, burning dungeon thou art preparing for thyself to all eternity, to which thou art going in such career." I said, "Perhaps you'll be willing to show me my eternal lot, and we will contemplate together upon it, and see whether your lot or mine is most desirable." So he took me through a stable, and through a church, and down into a church vault, at the end of which was a mill. Through the mill we went, and came to a cave. Down the winding cavern we groped our tedious way, till a void, boundless as a nether sky, appeared beneath us. And we held the roots of trees, and hung over this immensity. But I said, "If you please, we will commit ourselves to this void, and see whether Providence is here also. If you will not, I will." But he answered, "Do not presume, O young man, but as we here remain, behold thy lot, which will soon appear when the darkness passes away." So I remained with him, sitting in the twisted root of an oak. He was suspended in a fungus, which hung with the head downward into the deep. By degrees we beheld the infinite abyss, fiery as the smoke of a burning city. Beneath us at an immense distance was the sun, black but shining. Round it were fiery tracks, on which revolved vast spiders, crawling after their prey, which flew, or rather swum, in the infinite deep, in the most terrific shapes of animals sprung from corruption, and the air was full of them, and seemed composed of them. These are devils, and are called powers of the air. I now asked my companion which was my eternal lot. He said, "Between the black and white spiders." But now from between the black and white spiders a cloud and fire burst and rolled through the deep, blackening all beneath, so that the nether deep grew black as a sea and rolled with a terrible noise. Beneath us was nothing now to be seen but a black tempest, till looking east between the clouds and the waves, we saw a cataract of blood mixed with fire, and not many stones' throw from us appeared and sunk again the scaly fold of a monstrous serpent. At last, to the east, distant about 3 degrees, appeared a fiery crest above the waves. Slowly it reared like a ridge of golden rocks, till we discovered 2 globes of crimson fire, from which the sea fled away in clouds of smoke. And now we saw it was the head of a Leviathan. His forehead was divided into streaks of green and purple, like those on a tiger's forehead. Soon we saw his mouth, and red gills hang just above the raging foam, advancing toward us with all the fury of a spiritual existence. My friend the angel climbed up from his station into the mill. I remained alone, and then this appearance was no more, but I found myself sitting on a pleasant bank beside the river by moonlight, hearing a harper who sang to the harp, and his theme was, "The man who never alters his opinion is like standing water, and breeds reptiles of the mind." But I rose and sought for the mill, and there I found my angel, who, surprised, asked me how I escaped. I answered, "All that we saw was owing to your metaphysics, for when you ran away, I found myself on a bank by moonlight, hearing a harper. But now we have seen my eternal lot. Shall I show you yours?" He laughed at my proposal, but I by force suddenly caught him in my arms and flew westerly through the night, till we were elevated above the earth's shadow. Then I flung myself with him directly into the body of the sun. Here I clothed myself in white, sank from the glorious climb, and passed all the planets till we came to Saturn. Here I stayed to rest, and then leaped into the voids between Saturn and the fixed stars. Any man of mechanical talents may, from the writings of Paracelsus or Jacob Bayman, produce 10,000 volumes of equal value, and from those of Dante or Shakespeare an infinite number. But when he has done this, let him not say that he knows better than his master, for he only holds the candle in sunshine. Cheerful viewers, thank you for your company for today's words of wisdom.